few words that have inspired me from Greta Thunberg, the international climate activist, who said once she was travelling back from the United States to Europe when she got off her boat, she said, people are always asking, why do I have to be so angry? Well, if you don't want me to be angry, stop doing these things that are making me so angry. People in towns just outside of Canberra were told yesterday at 4 o'clock that it was time to evacuate. They were told at 4:30 that it was too late to leave. This is the situation we're facing. They're facing a fire started by a military helicopter. Scott Morrison is giving this speech today and has announced in advance of his speech that the thing that he will be talking about is how he plans to give himself the power to call out the military to deal with fires. A military helicopter started this fire. Anything short of a fully funded professional firefighting service is not good enough.
The kind of action which will have to raise taxes on wealthy people and companies in order to fund the transition to a low-carbon future. We're today protesting a man who is on the wrong side of history on two of the great issues facing humanity today. And they are climate change and the movement of people across national borders, the refugee crisis that the world is facing. These are the two issues that in Europe, in North America, in Trump's America, have consistently been the issues that have divided people and that right-wing politicians in particular have used and argued that their position is correct, but it's not.
Media deciding how many people they're going to say in
who
here.
went into Parliament with a lump of coal and said, there's nothing to be afraid of here. There's nothing to be scared about here. But at the same time, he says refugees who are forced to flee their homeland, they are the people, the things that we should be afraid of. He is wrong on both counts. The people forced out of their homes in New South Wales and Victoria by the fires will be a drop in the bucket for the humanitarian crisis that will be created by climate change. And so the two issues on which Morrison is on the wrong side of history on are growing closer together, and we have to fight them together. Climate change must be fought and must be stopped, but in the process, we change ourselves, our lives, and our society as well.
Well, thanks for that, John, and I think it's really important that us in the climate justice movement, everyone here recognises that the fight for a safe climate is bound up in the fight for workers' rights. It's bound up in the fight for refugee rights. It's bound up in the fight for all of us for a better world.
Mention the LGBT.
In the response
Have it yet?
to the crisis, I'm sure we know in a country that already has one of the most racist and authoritarian border regimes in the world that lets refugees who come here seeking a better life language in offshore concentration camps for year after year, that we're only going to see more of this as the crisis displaces more and more people. We hope Morrison is very proud of all of the damage that he's caused. He seems to be, because he's making no move to address the cause of the problem in the first place. After the massive victory of winning the basic civil right to marriage in this country, the Conservatives are a little bit upset. They now want to champion the rights of bigots to discriminate against LGBT people. And we know this is part of a more broader culture war. The coal lovers and refugee haters in Parliament also want to stoke division. They want to distract people from all of the other fucked up things that they're doing in Parliament. They want people afraid of transgender kids.
I think actually instead of young LGBTI people, instead of teachers who are LGBTI being made to feel unwelcome in society, I think the people who should be made to feel unwelcome in society are the fucking climate criminals. So I think everywhere Scott Morrison goes, everywhere these climate criminals go, they should be protested. They should be given a Cabago-style welcome.
You're out, son. You are out. Good night, Nana. Nowhere to live. You're not welcome, you Don't come back. You're not welcome. Hey!
And we should reject everything to do with
Apparently that's their new thing, Tobago style welcome.
We stand with LGBTI people, we stand with women, we stand with refugees, and against everything that Scott Morrison stands for.
ScoMo, fuck you! We deserve a future too! ScoMo, fuck you!
Oh my god, there's kids everywhere.
ScoMo, fuck you!
We deserve a future too!
Kids
ScoMo, fuck you!
There's the education union.
We are here to say
Animal
ScoMo,
Justice Party.
fuck you. We've had enough. And yeah, you're not going to go anywhere without being met by fierce opposition from the people who have been silenced for too long.
One of the other issues that's important to talk about today is the link between climate destruction and indigenous oppression today. One of the biggest drivers of the climate crisis, the mining companies, the climate criminals in this country, are dispossessing indigenous people today.
Shame.
Shame. We've just seen amazing turnouts to protest the racist
elderly and
disgrace
soy field.
that is celebrating Australia Day, celebrating the beginning of genocide and dispossession in this country just last weekend. We've also seen, though, while tens of thousands of people are protesting everything this day represents around the country, that both major parties remain committed to Australian nationalism, to racism against Indigenous people, refusing even to change the date that we celebrate it on. And I think that reflects that for both major parties, they remain committed today to dispossession and to climate change.
The kind of thing we need is for all politicians to know that no matter where they go, there will be resistance. That Scott Morrison will be hounded, like Tony Abbott was hounded back in the days when he was Prime Minister. We have to say, if Labor won't stop coal exports, if Liberals won't stop coal exports, they are good for nothing on the issue of climate. So that's why we're here today.
We want to march and take our message to him. We want every single politician who comes into the press club today to not be able to get in there without seeing that there are people who want climate justice. So, I want everyone's best chanting voices as we march over and await his arrival. When the planet is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When the planet is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When the planet is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Then what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Then what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When the planet is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When the planet is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the planet is under
Where are they
attack,
marching
what
to?
do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
The police is stopping them there. Stopping them there.
Keep the carbon in the soil. No more coal, no more oil. Keep the carbon in the soil.
No more coal, no more oil. Come
Keep the carbon in the soil.
around this way.
No more coal, no more oil. Keep the
They're trying to go past the cops now.
coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the soil. No more coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the now!
Police reaction.
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action!
They'll be coming.
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
I'm wondering if any of them will actually call the cameras. We've got the cameras here, right? So if they're going to do anything, which I haven't at all.
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it? How are we going to get it?
Fight for it!
How are we going to get it?
Fight for it!
How are we going to get it?
Fight for it!
Have to say, it's a little bit disappointing, but not particularly surprising that the police here are following the lead of police in Victoria.
You mean they're protecting the public from idiots?
The last climate protest.
Good on you, boys. This is what communists look like. This is what communists look like.
ScoMo has got to go, hey hey, ho ho. ScoMo has got to go, hey hey, ho ho. ScoMo has got to go, hey hey.
They're trying to force the cops. They're trying to force the cops to react. This is going to be their scuffle for the media.
You are being unsafe.
And I'll send that to you because I don't want them to get angry at me. So this is their faked up thing for the media. You'll probably get a half a second snatch of her refusing to get out of the cop's face.
ScoMo is an arsonist. Raise your voice, raise your fist. ScoMo is an arsonist. Raise your voice, raise your fist. ScoMo is an arsonist. Raise your voice, raise your fist. ScoMo is an arsonist. The oceans are rising. No more compromising. The oceans are rising. No more compromising.
1 millimetre a year.
Are rising. No more compromising. The oceans are rising.
Australia's moving further north every year than the oceans are rising.
No more compromising. The oceans are rising. No more compromising.
Oh, well, where should I be?
Are rising. No more compromising. The oceans
Did you hear
are
that?
rising. No
Someone
more
just came and told me that I'm on the wrong side and I should be on the left. I'm sorry, even if I was on the left I wouldn't be a communist. They'd make a big difference if they just stopped buying Chinese crap. Imagine the difference to their footprint they'd make. So many of them are selling the red flag. There's almost as many people selling red flag as there are people here.
Our exoskeletal Prime Minister has crawled and slithers around the corner through the regular people entrance, the pleb entrance.
Probably him.
So what a coward, what a loser, someone who ostensibly represents the majority opinion of quiet Australians who are just sitting around agreeing with him about climate change. Can't actually face what most people think. Can't actually face
You lost the election, guys. There's a reason.
want to hold him account.
Coward.
Climate criminal behaviour.
Labor didn't lie enough.
Around the front of the press club and finish off action.
Oh yeah, we're gonna march. They're doing not even marching at 12 o'clock today.
Raise your voice, raise your fist. ScoMo is an arsonist. Raise your voice, raise your fist. ScoMo is an arsonist. Raise your voice, raise your fist. ScoMo is an arsonist.
Here's a patient, chappies.
ScoMo is an arsonist.
Blah blah.
ScoMo is an arsonist. 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 Raise your voice, raise your fist. ScoMo is an arsonist. Raise your voice, raise your fist. ScoMo is an arsonist. Raise your voice.
So just so people know, we just got word that politicians having third street coming around this entrance. None other than Michaela Cash. So I think we want to stay here for a little while now in the shade now to send our message to every scummy politician inside this building. What do we want? When do we want?
guys, it's facilitating the Chinese energy industry, so there you go.
Transition for everyone that currently works in those industries who should not be $1 less worth off during the shutdown. That's what reemployment justice means. And there is the money to pay for this. There is enough money for all of these things. And it's exactly where our government left it, in the bank account of the fossil fuel companies. So people like Scott Morrison might think, oh, there's a few protests now and then it will be over. As soon as the bushing is done, everyone will forget. Well, there has been a change. There's been a change over the last 12 months. We are not going away. 2019 was a year of massive climate protests, of climate strikes, of hundreds of thousands of people around Australia. 2020
And the climate narrative's run out of steam, hence refugees and LGBTI.
In Canberra, there are several climate protests coming up that everyone should get along to. On the 4th of February, the People's Climate Assembly are holding a rally outside Parliament. People should get out their phones, find that event, and click attention now before you leave. On the 13th of March, Uni Students for Climate Justice are organising a national day of action, of protests across all of the university campuses and cities around Australia. So, we'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back!
At 7:30 a.m. on the 4th of February, there's a ride-in protest from Dixon Interchange to Parliament House.
Yeah, I'm not riding this way.
4th of February, ride, attend,